Hi guys! Good morning. Actually, I'm not used to shooting videos in the morning. I probably look crusty. I take a very long time to it's me. Anyway, welcome to my channel, guys. Today, as you would have seen from the title of my video, we're talking money. We're talking about money. We're talking about what it is that you can expect to earn in the legal profession with different roles. So this video was inspired by the fact that I often get sorry, I'm laughing because when you say I often get and people are like, that time it was one person. Okay, fine, it wasn't a lot of people. I'll say maybe like 4. Okay, 4 people, about 4 have asked me in the past, what is it that they can do with an LLB degree? They don't want to go to court. They don't want to stand in a court of law. They don't want to argue in front of a judge. They don't want to, litigate, basically. And I guess you only get a realistic understanding of what you do in the legal profession when you start working. For one, when I started working, realized that you could be an attorney all your life and never step foot in a court of law. It's possible. So, I've often advised people, besides being an attorney or your typical advocate, you could, do legal advising, legal counsel, compliance. There are in-house roles that one could take up if they feel that they don't want to be in practice. I'm not going to go into the extensive, exhaustive list of those roles. Besides, that's not what this video is about. I have chosen those particular roles which, one could get a sense of what it is that these type of people earn. And I have divided it according to the categories that Robert Walters uses for their salary survey. And those 3 categories are commerce and industry, the financial services sector, and private practice. You'll see that in my video, within those categories, the same role, salary-wise, could differ, right? Private practice is different. So basically, commerce and industry, and the financial services sector can be compared, and private practice is different. But you decide what it is that you want to do ultimately. But I have to say, you have to work hard, because these are average salaries that you can expect, market related, but a lot of companies or practices don't give the market related salaries to their employees. So if you want to find yourself around these averages, you'd obviously have to get into a corporate or a practice, a law firm that is within the industry market value. It's a lot of companies and a lot of law firms that are nowhere close to these averages, right? But this is what one who works hard and does well can expect for themselves. I've added my own category or my own topic, and that is the salaries of graduate programs. And that's because that's something I took up at some point in my legal career. And I think, it might be a route that some people want to take after graduating. Instead of going into private practice, they go straight into in-house roles. I do discourage it, but who am I to tell you what to do? So yeah, let's get into this video, right? I did a graduate program in a manufacturing company. And I also just want to say that legal graduate programs aren't very popular, especially in corporate. I think it's because a lot of the time you find that, this is my opinion, I think a lot of the time you find that the legal roles that are occupied in corporate companies are usually occupied by people who have some experience in private practice, or they would have done their articles, maybe worked as associates, senior associates for a bit before going in-house. However, the other approach that you can take is to go into a corporate company as a graduate in a legal department. And if they retain you and you get kept, then you can then work your way up in-house. But I would say you would be at a disadvantage compared to somebody who comes in from private practice, because there's a lot of knowledge and skill that needs to be gained in private practice. I say need because it's really valuable for fulfilling any job function that you may, or any job role that you may want to do, right? So I did a graduate legal program. They're not very popular, like I said. And based on the salary that I was earning around the time, and also a couple of people I've asked who've done graduate programs, as well as the research that I've done, I found that the average salary, at least in 2021, could be between 280K to 380K per annum. This excludes bonuses, but it includes benefits. In the financial services sector, so if you do a graduate program in a bank, you might earn a little bit more. I would then say maybe something between 350K and 450K per annum, and it could even be more. And their bonuses are actually quite good, as I've heard from people who've worked in the financial services sector. I don't know though what it is to work in a bank, and I don't know how the career prospects are once you are done with your graduate program as a lawyer. I don't know what it is, but like I said in the beginning of this video, I would discourage it. I don't think salary packages for graduate programs, the average that is, are too bad actually. I think they're quite well, they are quite okay, and they sort of match what you would get average as a candidate legal practitioner in a law firm. Moving on, legal advisor. As I said, usually legal advisor or legal counsel roles are occupied by professionals who have had some experience in private practice. So unfortunately, if you want to be a legal advisor, I would say I don't think you can avoid the route of going through private practice unless you go straight in a corporate company via a graduate program. I wouldn't advise it though, like I said. I may be wrong, there might be exceptions to this case, but you would notice with job vacancies or job advertisements that they will always say 1 to 3 years experience, and that's PQE, post-article experience. So legal advisor positions, legal counsel positions, 1 to 3 years experience, you're looking at a salary of 400,000 to about 550K as a legal advisor in the commerce and industry sector, and about 400K to 600K in the financial services sector. Legal counsel, you're looking at about 600K to about 800K in the commerce and industry sector, and about 600 to 850K, maybe even 9, but that's, I'd say that's above average, 900K in the financial services sector. Those are legal counsel roles, all those about 1 to 3 years experience. With legal counsel, it could be even 3 to 5 years experience. And that's because I've noted that with legal counsel roles, they usually want somebody who's got a little bit more experience. It depends on which company or which corporate company you're working for, because other corporates, they don't even have legal advisors. Other corporates have legal advisors and legal counsel. Other corporates just have legal advisors. But in the financial services sector, I think at least that's what I've noticed, with F&B at least, right? And I think Standard Bank as well. They do have like legal officers or legal advisors, and then they have legal counsel. And legal counsels tend to require more experience from legal counsel roles, and those people get more money. Senior legal counsels in the commerce and industry sector, their salary ranges between I'd say 800 to about 1.2 million per annum, and in the financial services sector about 950K to about 1.4, even 1.5 million per annum. I'm not going to go into like the other senior roles in corporate companies like your general counsels, because going up, certain corporates or institutions, they then start having different structures. And yes, you may require a legal background in a particular department, but that's not always the case. So where I worked, the head of our department was actually a chartered accountant. So, and that was like the general manager. So that's why I'm like, let me not go further than what I've just said right now. Let us go to private practice. In private practice, I'm going to give you the average salary ranges for candidate legal practitioners, associates, senior associates, and partners, although I feel like I have no business talking about partner salaries, because what do I know? Am I a partner? Huh? Do you know a partner? Like, what do you know? Anyways, just gonna this one though, I'm gonna say it with my chest. Okay, I did not do any research on this one. This one I got from the Robert Walters salary survey, and that's that. Okay, so what you can expect to earn as a candidate legal practitioner who has graduated straight out of varsity, and these are averages, is about 280k. This is at bottom of the food chain, to about 400k, right, per annum. As associates, you could expect to earn, and this is the bottom of the food chain again, about 500k on average to about 800k per annum. Some associates earn more. Remember also with associates, on average, you'll be an associate for 3 years on average. And so over the years, depending on where your base was, what you started off as when you started as an associate, that will increase, with inflation or with performances increases and all of that. So it could be more. And then with senior associates, the salary range is around, again, this is the bottom of the food chain. With senior associates, the salary range is about 700k to about 1.1 million per annum. Yeah. Some earn more, yes, it's possible, and some earn less. And then with partners, the Robert Walters salary survey has the figure at 1.4 million to about 1.8 million, and this is for junior partners. Senior partners, it's obviously more, but I'm not going to go into that. What I also want to mention with partners is that they are like rankings. It's almost like you get promoted within the partner. Yeah, you get promoted within that. Yeah, those are basically the figures one could expect on average. I don't think it's too bad, quite honestly. But if you talk to the guys in like the big 5 firms, those guys are humble with, not humility. I remember I was speaking to my husband, and he was talking about how when before COVID times now, when they were still going to work, that they would sit in the dining room area, and the candidate attorneys would complain, the money they earn, it's nothing. I'm like, guys, you just come from varsity, like, what do you know? Like, unless you grew up rich, but are you complaining about so much money? I don't want to put figures, but it's a lot. I would be grateful, and I was grateful. So yeah, my last advice that I want to give to graduates or university students right now, and this comes from experience, and I am sort of retracting in a way something I've said in the past. I learned from my career that, one, if you are driven by passion and wanting to do something that you love and not willing to back down on that if you find yourself in a space where you're not happy, take the leap of faith and try something new, something that you feel will get you closer to doing something that you're passionate about, do it, right? It may take you 3 years to figure it out, 5 years, 10 years. Take as long as you need until you find what it is that you're passionate about. But that's if you're like me, a person who's driven by passion and wanting to do something that gives back and not just, gain things for yourself or, be miserable in a department. I mean, and I say this respectfully, I was never miserable. I really never had a horrible legal career, to be honest. There were bad things that happened here and there, but I just didn't feel that it was something that I was passionate about or something that I wanted to do forever, or at least I wasn't sure. And so I went out and found what it is that I would love and enjoy. So if you're like me, go out, take the leap, find what it is that you want to do. However, if all you care about is money, right? If what you care about in life is making money, you want to make guapo and you don't care, then stick it out, my brother, my sister. Let me tell you something. There is a reward and there is a benefit in sticking it out. Those people who stay in companies for a very long time can tell you the rewards of staying in that company for a long time. For example, when I was at Toyota, there were people who were there for 20 years, 10 years. And I was like, 10 years, 20 years, it could never be me. Right? Why are you here for so long? Do you love your job so much? No. There's something that they gain from their job that perhaps, you don't want to say it outright, but they're comfortable. Life is comfortable because they've been in those positions for a very long time and they've gone up the ranks, they've gotten promoted, they've gotten salary increases, they've gotten nice performance bonuses every year. They can expect this because why? They stick it out. They even get long service recognition. None, guys. It was nice for those people. I couldn't do it, but there was a benefit in doing so. Even in private practice, you could be placed as a candidate legal practitioner in a commercial law department, for example. And perhaps you're like, no, I actually wanted to do litigation, but you never really get to do litigation. And they keep you as an associate in a commercial department, and you realize that I wanted to do litigation, but I'm not going to get an opportunity to do so. And you decide, you know what? It's commercial law. It is what it is. I'm staying here. I'm going to do what I can, learn what I can, because no experience is a waste, okay? And move up the ranks in that commercial department, albeit you wanted to do something different, right? And what? There's benefit in staying in that department. Why? You're going to be an associate for 3 years on average. After 3 years, you're going to be promoted because you would have gained enough knowledge or experience, and they would be able to trust you to work more independently. Then you become a senior associate, and you're a senior associate for another 3 years, and then you get promoted to partner. All things being equal, provided that all the other requirements are fulfilled for you to be promoted. But there's benefit in staying. I look at my husband. I'm going on now. I look at my husband. We did articles together in the same law firm. He was just 1 year ahead of me, right? Second year candidate legal practitioner. I was a first year candidate legal practitioner. And I look at where he is right now. I'm still a junior associate. I'm going to be a junior associate for a minute because why? I've jumped from one practice area to another. And obviously you can't be a senior associate in a practice area where you don't know much about it. However, if I perhaps stayed, I don't know though, I can't tell you for sure this is what was going to happen. But if I stayed in one practice area for a long time and within the same firm, or at least not move around as much, then the prospect of me going up or moving up the corporate ladder at a much quicker rate or pace would have been. Choose there. What you want. Do you want passion? Do you want money? And based on that, go for it. My dad always says, don't spiritualize money. Don't pray. Should I take this one or not? That's him though, right? I was like, no. Passion is what I want. But he was always like, which one gets you the most money? And you know what? It's okay to be that person who's like, I'm chasing the money. If that's you, Brad, chase the money. But you need to work hard from where you are right now. As a student right now, sometimes I say, marks, I said in my career advice video, marks aren't the end all and the be all, right? Some corporate companies, some practices are able to look at candidates who don't do so great. So there's hope. But do you want to make life easy for yourself? work hard, do well, have a nice academic transcript. You already have opened so many doors for yourself that you don't have to work hard to enter into. Because why? The marks speak for themselves. I think at some point in life we must just be realistic about these things. Okay? There's other ways to color our CVs and get our foot in the door. But as a graduate, or I mean as a student right now, my cry to all of you, please work hard, guys, and seek for help if you need help. Do mentorship programs, speak to people who are in the profession so that they can help you if you're demotivated. There are people out there who are willing to help you guys. All the best. Have a great weekend and an awesome spring. Be safe, guys. COVID is still real. And yeah, cheers, guys.